Wasps Ladies Director of Rugby Giselle Mather has a similarly impressive CV to her opposite number at Quins, Karen Findlay, as player and coach with Teddington, Wasps and Richmond, 34 England caps and a World Cup winners' medal from 1994. I put it to Giselle that the short periods of dominance by her team proved to be exactly that. Too short.
I think if you look at the experience that they've got, the size that they've got, they're virtually an international outfit against a club side, and so I'm really proud of what we've managed to achieve. I feel that the score doesn't exactly reflect the game. They had a purple patch at the beginning of the second half where they scored 3 quick tries, which we've obviously got to work out how we make sure that that doesn't happen again. But I think some of our detail went out at those moments, and tries came from our mistakes that first phase, which gives them the ball and then they get to do their thing. Our discipline as well was an issue, particularly in the first half, which allows them to kick and put us down in the positions where their physicality can really can really hurt us. And I think that's what has happened today. That said, I think we played some really good rugby in places against what are very strong, very physical players.
You played a more expansive game, in the opinion of many, compared with last week, where when you got it out to the backs, it was impressive. You matched them. That was a big difference compared with last week for us.
Yeah, I think last week would have liked to have been able to do that, but I think Sarri's defence they defend in a different way to Quins. Our kicking game today gave us opportunity to put in there, and we were able to put them under pressure, get the ball back and then shift it. Particularly in the last 20 minutes, I think we opened it up quite nicely and challenged them out in those areas because they are unbelievably strong in their pack. So we knew that we had to get the ball far away from them as possible today, which is why you saw us more expansive this week than we were last.
You started slowly, in the opinion of many. Is that a pattern? Is that something that in the break you talked to the girls about, and the energy levels were raised in the 20 minutes to the 40 minutes, we thought?
Yeah, I think a lot of that will sit around belief systems. When you come up against the two sides which we've had the last 2 weeks that are unbeaten by anyone so far, that's a challenge to an athlete. And whilst we talked about it beforehand, and the differences between where we're at and they're at, and what we believe in ourselves, to get out here for the first 10-15 minutes, they have to believe that what they've been told is true. And I think that's probably where the slower start occurs, and then when they get into it, it's like, do you know what? We are able to do this. We can do this, and they did. They went out and did it both this week and last. And last week we had the opportunity. Last play of the game, we lost the losing bonus point. This week, it's the first 10 minutes in the second half where we've let ourselves down, but we're moving in the right direction.
You've matched the two best teams in the country for spells during each of those games. You've lost, but we didn't feel that reflected the ability of the two teams. You must be encouraged. You must be hugely encouraged.
Absolutely. I'm really proud of them. The effort they put in, the way they train, the commitment that they have to their own development is amazing. They all have full-time jobs. They all have to work really hard, and yet they come in and they train all the times that they've got, both on their skills, both on their strength and conditioning. They do their rehab, their prehab, their nutrition. They do everything, and they're unpaid athletes at the moment. I have huge respect for what they do, and to come out in a situation like that where they're playing against international rugby players. I mean, I've got international players too, but if you add up ours to theirs, it's incomparable, and yet they're putting in performances week in, week out that they can be proud of. Next week we go to Richmond. We need to build on this, and then we have a huge game against Gloucester just before Christmas, which will be a significant game as to the placement of where we finish in the league overall at the end of the season. So we will now build on these experiences, the lessons that we've learned. And to be the best, you've got to go up against the best. And it tells you where you're at and what we've got to do. And we know that. And the girls know that. They're disappointed, but they're also aware of the journey that we're on to try and be the best. So that's what we're about, and that's what we're working towards.
I'm going to repeat what you just said in a way, but it's not a cliche in sport. You are putting foundations in place for the future, in our opinion.
Absolutely, without question. And, this is the third year of TPs, and we've not beaten those two sides yet. Well, we've beaten Saris here 2 years ago. We beat them here, but we're getting better all the time, and the differences are becoming less and less. A lot of what's happened today is our own errors, whereas in the past I feel that teams have been able to put things together against us that we haven't been able to cope with. Well, I don't think that's the case today. I think it's our own errors, so we need to become more consistent in the skill set that we're delivering, and the game plan we've got, I feel, suits the side that we are, and we've just got to get better at that as well, which, testing those two sides, we've put them under a lot of pressure with our game plan, so we're going to continue with that and continue to work as hard as we can to become more consistent side.
Abby Dow earlier and we had a slight difference of opinion about certain terms that we used. I used the word nasty, she used the word clinical. That is mental. That's purely mental, I guess, and that is going to play a part, I think, in the development of this team.
Again, that goes back down to belief systems, doesn't it? It's what they feel they can add, and whether you say nasty, clinical, consistent, they are all words that are connected to the same thing. And top 2 inches is now, where you've got to work it, what you've got to believe in, and the girls are working towards that, and it doesn't happen overnight. Athletic development doesn't happen overnight. Mental development about your belief systems doesn't happen overnight, and these are tests that we need to go through on that journey to becoming the best that we can be.
Thank you so much, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, my pleasure.